The Paula Show is on. The Paula Show. Come on, one and all. I extend an invitation to the Paula Show. Join in the conversation. Transforming behavior, recognizing our Savior, overcoming hurdles, achieving dreams. Together we can succeed.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Paula Show. Tonight, it's a youth explosion at the Paula Show. The outsiders are here, and their associates are here. They sing and they dance, and it's all about the spoken word. But there's a major event coming up in August of 2020, and you need to stay with us on the Paula Show so that you can hear more about it. Let me hear some noise from the outsiders. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Thank you for staying with us on the Paula Show. Remember to watch the Paula Show via CTV Channel 2 on Tuesday nights at 9, and Sundays there's a rebroadcast at 1 in the afternoon. The Paula Show inspires, entertains, and transforms behavior. Like me on Facebook as well, The Paula Show. Tonight it's about the outsiders and their associates. And Erica is representing, Erica with a K, and Samuel is representing as well. So Erica with a K, tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, she is always reminding me it's Erica with a K. Who spells Erica with a K? I know it's always Erica with a C.
No, Erica with a K, but let me tell you something about myself. My name is Erica Pearson, and thank you for having me on your show, Miss Paula. I can say that I'm very outgoing. I'm very fun to be around. I can also say that I'm a hairstylist, makeup artist. I do a lot of things in my spare time and so on. I
am a dancer. Actually, I have my own ministry, and I go by the name of His Gifted.
His Gifted.
It's just a small launch, and I'm just building myself up.
When I heard about the outsiders, initially I thought outsiders. Like, I would think that you'd be insiders. So where did this name come from, outsiders?
Well, I could say that our name got its origins from the scripture verse of John 17:16 that says, and I quote, we are of the world but not part of the world. So therefore means that we are outsiders.
Outside of the world.
Right.
Interesting concept.
Yes.
Just to touch a little bit on that, as Christians, as believers, we walk, we think, we talk differently. So we alienate ourselves from the world. So when we portray that type of image, people is like, ooh.
Peculiar.
Right, exactly. So it's just like, ooh, tell me more.
The way you present yourself, grooming,
right. Yes.
you are lit.
Right.
Did I say it right? He's lit? He's lit. Or he's on fleek? Which one? I got you guys. Yes, you thought Miss Paula was some little old geriatric lady. I got you. But I know you guys want to live for the Lord. You want to be happy in Jesus. Don't you feel tempted sometimes to be like the world?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
definitely.
Yes, it happens a lot of times. We're humans, yes, and the devil may try to attack us because we're young and we have a lot of things to learn.
You're trying to say the devil doesn't attack older people?
Yes.
Oh, just checking.
We're all humans. He attacks all of us.
Okay.
So with that being said, yes, we
You're
face a lot of
sometimes.
temptations and so on, but as Christians, we have to have that mindset that God is with us and so forth. And we just have to stay grounded on that path, stay grounded.
Samuel, even older Christians, I might not be speaking about myself, okay guys? So don't judge me. Even older Christians, sometimes you hear a little calypso or whatever, but initially you're not thinking it's a calypso. You just hear the rhythm and you start to do a little thing, jig, 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 and move the shoulder. And then you say, oh, what is this at all? How do you deal with such situations?
Well, you see, coming from a dancer's perspective, like you dance like all the time, and I have friends who would have like different music, I would listen to the music and whatnot. and the beats and everything sounds good, and I'm moving, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just like, oh shucks, the words.
Yeah. No, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and then it'll be like, oh, Samuel, oh yeah, you're a man of God. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it happens a lot, you know? But
Probably to dancers more because
right,
you're
right. So the songs and so on that are out there that we bop to and so on, sometimes it has like a negative background, and some artists, they take that beat and use their own lyrics and make it positive. So we would say, okay, the song might not be negative or positive, but you just have to level with it.
So what does level with
Level
it mean?
with it meaning just go with it. Yes, the beat is not negative, cannot be negative.
The beat
The
can
word-
never be negative. It's the lyrics that,
Right,
that
the
will be negative.
Right.
So
Go
in
with it,
other
level with
words,
it.
you're saying that we can take the beat for calypso, apply gospel lyrics to it, and that's all right?
Yes.
That's all
Yes.
right with you guys?
Yes. Big time.
Interesting.
Big time.
Well, you know what? Let me stay with Amazing Grace.
How sweet that's
Trust and obey. Thine be the glory. By Jesus, I love thee.
Yes.
You can't go wrong with those, right?
Right.
But young people don't like those types of hymns anymore.
Right, that's
it's
true.
just the contemporary type of music. And let me tell you, I do not appreciate singing one line 50 times.
I can testify to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a song, it's popular, people like it, but we keep repeating the same line over and over and over. How do I get any excitement from that? I'm singing it, but I'm saying, couldn't we just sing Trust and Obey? I think it would be more meaningful. I think Trust and Obey is coming up in Calypso beat just now.
Right.
Thank you for staying with us on The Paula Show. We'll be right back with this Youth Explosion program. Let's talk about missionary work, because somebody told me that you're interested in missionary work.
This guy, me,
Yes.
missionary.
No?
No, no.
It's Erica?
Have to be Eric.
So who would like to be a missionary in my audience? By show of hands, who would like to be missionaries? Just Faith, Mr. Lackner, Melanie, and...
I am a missionary.
You're a missionary? I'd love to speak with you. There are about 4 friends who are interested in missionary work.
Right.
But you guys are not interested in missionary work. What's your interest? What's your area of interest?
My interest is pretty much to evolve in my ministry.
And that's
well,
what?
And
Dancing?
also impact the youths and whatnot. And you know, just a drop a little future goals in there. I plan into future goals. You know, I plan to open my have my own clothing company and my clothing brand. You know, for the men.
GQ.
I like it because you know that's where I got my content from, with all the men stuff and the fashion and the grooming. Yeah, GQ. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
And you, Miss Erica?
Yes. Well, I would like to expand and
On which talent? You told me about 6.
all of them. I have a lot of ideas and so forth. So I would like to bring up myself in my ministry and so on, like
Which ministry? Dance?
dance, right?
Okay.
And maybe singing. I want to open up my hair salon, a makeup artist, being a having my makeup studio and so on, and also owning my own dance camp and dance studio.
On the Paula Show tonight, it's season 14, my 3rd program for season 14. Can I commission you to have my makeup done for one of my shows?
Yeah, of course. Of course, yes.
No, we can't
Yes.
shake hands on that. Foot bomb. Foot
Oh,
bomb.
yes, yes, yes.
I don't understand you guys. You just think me. I told you, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I got
Okay.
you.
How do you impact your peers by talking to them about dancing?
Well, it's pretty much very, very good to share our ministry with younger folks and so on, and also our peers. And through that, by talking to them, they can just see us dance and just want to have this in-depth conversation with us about a lot of things. So we don't have to do much. They just watch us when we're dancing. They're moved, they're touched, and they want to know more and know more about us. And as we go with that conversation, we encourage them about God. We just reach out to them and tell them and help them to go on the right path.
So your ministry, therefore, can initiate conversation,
Right.
and then you're able to continue
Right,
speaking about the
right.
Lord, testifying.
Right.
And you dancing as well, right?
Yeah, dancing as
so
well.
it's the same.
It's pretty much in the same category. And I would have actually spoken to a bunch of young people, especially young men, because I may have an influence on the young men, and they have actually spoken to young men where they would have smoke and whatnot. And I want you to be yourself around me. I don't want you to be like, oh shucks, he's a Christian,
Yes.
put away his cigarette and
Yes.
whatnot. I don't like per se like I'm a Christian, and then you'll be like, oh shucks, he's a Christian. Let me not do certain things. I want you to be yourself, because I'm gonna be myself with you. You understand? And I'm just gonna like share my testimony. I'm just gonna have a good vibes and whatnot.
So like Paul, you become all things so that you can minister to
Correct.
people at their place of need
Exactly.
without becoming involved
Right.
in the
Right.
See
activity.
the
Right.
example in that moment.
Right.
All right. This is dancing. Melanie is going to be singing for us later.
Yes.
Clap for Melanie,
Yes. Come on now.
please. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about social media. What are you disseminating via social media? What are you sharing with people via social media?
Well, yes. Wow.
With all the memes and the quotes and whatnot.
Yes.
Tell me, what else are you sharing?
I'm sharing like quotes and encouragements and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not like quotes pertaining to like beliefs and Christianity, things that to do with your whole entire your body, like your depression, like the situationships, your friendships, your past and stuff like those. Like because I'm aware of my viewers, because I don't only have believers as on a WhatsApp.
Okay.
my
You have
friends.
diverse
Yes.
Exactly,
groups
because
I
of
have to be
people.
careful.
Exactly.
have to
I
be
have to
careful.
be sensitive to the topics I may put on WhatsApp
Right.
and whatnot, so they don't feel like kind of in there and DM me like, or they block me and tell me, oh, Samuel, you make me feel like that. You know what I mean? Like, or they give me a phone call, like, we have to do that.
Seriously? They're that sensitive?
Well,
Okay, Erica with a K. Tell me, what are you sharing?
well, I share like
Please share some hair tips for this
Yes,
natural hair,
yes.
please.
I share a lot of my work.
Mm-hmm.
Share dance videos. Advertise a lot of things. Promote myself. And share memes and so on, because there's some memes that are very encouraging about God and so on, but they have some funny memes that you can just laugh at and it just catch people's attention,
Not
So-
the vulgar ones though,
No,
because sometimes you watch or read the posts from Christians on
Right.
social media and you're wondering, did they backslide? Are they still saved? It's just crazy. People go wild on social media. I
Like,
don't like
yeah.
it sometimes.
Like I was saying, when you're saying that you're a Christian, you have to be careful as to what you post online, because
Standards.
right? Because your friends and so forth, they would look at you as, oh, okay, you backslide. Aren't you supposed to be the one
The
being a
example.
Christian, leading an example on WhatsApp and so forth? You're not supposed to be posting certain things. So they will look at you as a perfect. People tend to look at Christians as perfect, but we are not perfect. We're not close to being perfect. But
I don't know about not be close to being perfect. We are aiming for perfection every day, so we ought to be closer to perfection every day. Let's talk about Bible characters with extraordinary talent. Who's your pick?
David.
What extraordinary talent David had? I'm just saying.
Right, he had a slingshot, you know what I mean? And and to be honest though, let me tell you something. That slingshot here, that giant, like he was like, who knows how tall was Goliath? I don't know. Actually, he was tall like this guy's.
I think he was over 9 feet, they
9
said.
feet? Okay,
Yes,
that's
yes.
pretty tall. So you to throw a slingshot
Taller
up in
than
somebody's
Shaquille
forehead,
O'Neal and so.
up in somebody's forehead, like right dead center. That's some skill. Right?
Yeah.
And plus he handled lions and he protected the sheep and whatnot. Tell me what kind of young man at that age with a handle of a lion. And
With
He's
sling
very
and all.
brave,
I mean,
yes.
if I have a gun, bow wow.
Ah.
From a distance, but definitely not with slingshot and rod and all of that.
Exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay, I'm persuaded. I'm persuaded.
Yes,
Who's your pick?
Job. Like,
Talent? What's his talent?
he doesn't have like a talent per se,
Okay.
but I just admire him. I honestly admire him. And every time I come up with a, like, well, I'm in a situation, I look at Joe as my inspiration, basically.
Why?
Because he just trusts God. Like, no matter the troubles he went through, the devil tried a lot of things to tempt him to take a lot of things away from him. But still, he stood there, he stood grounded and believed and trusted in God.
So
and
what
everything
did
was
the devil
restored.
take from Job?
Well, I could say that he had some pox on his hands and yes, a lot.
He took his children, yes. He took the material things, his wealth.
Oh, on right.
His wealth,
on his
and then he attacked his health. And at that point, most of us would have said,
Yes.
I am not
Yes.
trusting anymore.
Right.
His wife seemingly abandoned him.
right, right.
I mean, oh my. But picture it. Ladies, nice, handsome guy, like Mr. Lackner.
Hey,
Smooth. And then he has all these dry scabs all over him. And for days he hasn't had a bath. No, when you read the Bible, picture it. Don't just read the
Right.
surface
You have to, yes.
like a
you have to picture
story.
it.
I call them accounts.
Right.
And when you recognize the condition of Job and he still trusted, I can
That was-
understand why you admire Job.
I admire him a lot because I can say that we go through a lot of things and we may question God. Like,
Erica, how old are you again?
I'm 19 years old.
And you've been through a lot of things. Lord help me.
No, I said we.
We,
So,
collectively.
Yes, collectively,
Okay,
not just
okay,
individually.
okay.
Yes, I could say we tend to face a lot of things. And we might question God, asking God, why are you putting me through this? Why are you not helping me? And so forth. But you just have to look at Job for that inspiration to stay with God because he stood by God. And because he stuck by God's side,
He was
God
blessed
restored everything back to him. And he just...
many times over.
Right. So-
But what I like about the account of Job, it's from a different perspective. How many of us can the Lord boast about?
Ooh.
How many of us, when the devil goes before him, the Lord can say, see my servant Paula,
Yes,
see my
he's
servant Melanie,
sticking by my
see
side."
my servant, see my
Right.
servant missionary. You tell me, she is righteous,
Right.
he is this, he is that. I mean, don't you live for the day when the Lord can boast about
Right.
us? My Lord, I would feel on top of the world, but also know, when the Lord begins to boast about you, the enemy turns up the
Right.
flame. And so you have to be stronger in your
Right,
faith. You have
right.
to increase your faith
try a lot of things
because
to
the
attack you.
trials are going to come.
Right.
You pray and fast, and you had a good week, you had a good run. And then by the second week, everything turned
Yes,
up.
yes.
And you wonder, what have I done? All that you've done is to reconfirm your commitment to Jehovah, and the enemy doesn't like that.
Right.
So I just want to encourage you, keep the faith. Amen?
Amen.
So I've gotten your favorite Bible character, and I've gotten the reasons why. Tell me of one instance when you have positively influenced a friend.
By speaking to them, encouraging them, because I do that a lot. I also, well, back then, before, I used to teach like a group of kids, helping them with their CXC, common entrance, and so on in my
Nice.
village. So when I was helping
What
them,
village is that?
Villa.
Villa is a village, Erica? I honestly thought she was going to say like All Saints, All Liberty.
I'm sorry. Let me continue.
Yes, please.
Let me continue what she was saying. Village of Villa.
Yeah.
Up my area, I
Yes.
encourage a lot of kids around that area.
Very
And by
cool.
encouraging them, I also give them some pointers about steering on the right path. Because sometimes they might come to me with a lot of problems within their homes.
Little children?
Well,
Yeah.
just remember I teach like CXC also.
Okay,
so
teenagers.
It's right. So
Yeah.
it's not all about their little kids. And because of that, they may come to me with family issues
Yes.
and peer pressure and all those things. And I just have to give them a little encouragement
Yes.
and staying on the right path. I use my talent to do that.
Dancing?
Well, not dancing.
So you
Teach.
Oh, teach.
Right.
So that's another talent
Yes.
to add to the 6. So it's 7 now. Tell me, what are some of the issues that your friends are experiencing, though?
I have friends who would have experienced relationships, as in like, you know, we have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. And our friends who would have
Lord have mercy.
either, you know, lose their faith in a lot of things, you know. And
Yeah.
I can really testify to when I was dancing at the banquet, and I was dancing to. It's a good song. You like the song? I'll try to send it to you next time.
Okay.
It's called Even Louder by Malcolm,
Okay.
right? Stephen Malcolm. And after I finished dancing and everything, one of my friend that I would have seen within at the banquet, he contacted me. And he was like, hey, I want to ask you some questions. You know, he was asking me questions about his faith and so on and so
yes.
forth. I was just like, wow. You know, it's
Just
good.
from a song
Yeah, it's good
and
to
a
be a
dance.
vessel to like, you know, and he began to just be transparent and honest about himself. He had to do that with himself first before he can do that with me. You know, to just like, okay, someone, this is what it is. You know, I'm going through so much, and how do you handle this? But I just told him in layman's terms, like, bro, I've been through that too.
So
I can
talent
testify.
can be
Right.
the open doorway
Exactly.
for persons to come to know the Lord.
Right. I could also add to that.
Yes.
If they see you doing something in church, for example, like worshiping, preaching, or any sort of things you
Ministry.
do in ministry you do in church, they will look at you as like, wow, like you have that boldness within you that you can just do that in front of everyone, even with your peers. Because I learned in youth meeting, don't look at your peers and be afraid to worship God. So as you step out, you would just pull them in.
Motivate
Right,
someone.
right. Anyone. It won't be
Doesn't even
everyone.
have to be your peers.
Right. Anyone in
Because
the crowd.
when you guys were dancing at my church, I was mesmerized. And you were
There you go.
smiling and dancing.
There you
and
go.
I believe that a smile is an expression that you're enjoying
Right.
yourself. I hate to see people dancing and singing and looking all
Straight
upset.
face.
I just want them to finish.
But in dance,
Please,
you know,
spare me.
You're taught to like show face expression.
Right.
Yes.
That's very
I
important.
I can't be like, I can't feel what you're feeling from the song.
Right.
If you just give me a dead face.
Right.
You guys
You're
were
trying
there
to tell me that
dancing
it
and
makes
I'm
you dead.
actually moving in my seat and
Yes.
thinking, I want to be a part of that dance group.
And you see, we
And then
have
when
a
I got the
witness.
opportunity, I became a failure. Thank you for joining us on the Polish Show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
For I was blind and now I see. Bam, 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 bam. In the background.
so unfair.
Wow.
Oh, everybody got it except me.
I get it.
You know you got this. Just as
So,
You got this. Dance
yeah.
by faith and not by sight.
Okay.
So you're blind. It's like this. See, I was blind and now I see. Bam, and bam. In the music, when I hear an instrumental, so it go like 5, 6, 7. For I was blind and now I see. Da, da, 7. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, we're on this together. So let's continue. So we're going from I was blind and now I see. 5, 6, 7. I was blind and now I see. Hey, oh yeah. Next move is this. Roll, right? Roll it. Off the hair. Roll it. Roll it. You know the African move like, hey. Oh, something like that.
We've been speaking about the outsiders and their dancing and their singing and the spoken words and their talents. But this talent will be taking them away from the shores of Antigua and Barbuda. Ladies and gentlemen, they're on their way to Kansas City. They are going to be our special ambassadors.
What we're having in Kansas City, we're having a leadership training, and we're part of a group called Caribbean Echo. And Caribbean Echo is made up of a lot of persons from around the Caribbean itself, Barbados, Trinidad, Antigua itself, and so forth. So what we're having in Kansas, we're having like a leadership training that will help us with our ministry for 2 weeks. And after that 2 weeks, we'll be going out into the schools in Kansas and Ohio. Right. And we'll be sharing our ministry, just dancing within schools, encouraging young people to get to know Christ and also for us to make him known to
Sounds
them.
like a lot of cultural diversity going on
Right.
here. So you'll be representing Antigua and Barbuda.
Ambassadors.
Taking some Susie's hot sauce.
Right.
What are your plans for Kansas?
Well, pretty much to engage and get to know the faces that we've already been familiar with. We've been here in Antigua before, but to really meet new faces and to see other people in their own ministry and how they would have actually impact young people and whatnot. And also, like, there's other things that's gonna go on there as well. Like,
I'm interested in the training session.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
well, we hope to see how the training session will go.
Yeah.
Personal development,
Right.
professional development,
Right.
spiritual development,
Right.
character
That's
development.
a big thing
Yeah.
that's going to be happening. Right.
And there will be your peers from Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados.
Right.
Is this
They'll-
as a result of your affiliation with Impact World?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So there were good outcomes from Impact World?
Yes.
Good local outcomes?
Yes.
Share.
Well, it helped us a lot. I can say it helped us a lot. It built us spiritually. It encouraged us to be more professional with working with other people and other group, because it wasn't just the Caribbean group for Impact World. It was persons from Island Breeze and
So
Team
an
Extreme and
international group.
Right. So it was very, very fun. It was
And you
very
learned from them culturally as well.
Yes, we learned a lot of their cultural techniques.
But were there lots of people saved in Antigua as a result of Impact World?
Because we would have been to, Eric and I actually went to a lot of schools. Well,
Right.
the teams were like distributed to other schools. And Eric and I got like primary school, so we moved.
Yes.
And we would have been dancing to a song called Boa God by Elaine. We choreographed the entire song, and the young people loved it.
Right.
And they really, it's like, oh, they even asked us for
Yes.
autographs.
They asked us for
Also, y'all were like celebrities?
Exactly.
Whoa.
when we were dancing that, I was very shocked to see little kids from primary schools. They were so engaged, they were so moved, and a lot of them accepted Christ. And it brought me to tears. It brought majority of us to tears when we went to one primary
They
school in
accepted
particular.
Christ, but what about the follow-up? Because generally when people accept Christ,
Right.
you
Their
want
commitments.
to shepherd them,
Right.
at least for a while. So you were able to follow up with these young people who accepted the Lord, or did you maybe leave it to their church pastors and church elders to continue that process of, honing them and them growing in the scripture?
All right. Well, I could say that we were not a part of that particular team to do follow-ups
Okay.
and so forth. So
Oh, so there were various teams.
yes, yes.
Oh,
So we collected their numbers and information, and we had to forward it to their discipleship team. So they would do all the follow-up
so
and
it
so
was
forth.
also about teamwork.
Right. So we learned a lot of that during that tour.
Okay, excellent,
Everybody
excellent.
pulling their weight,
Right.
Might have their specific tasks, and once the tasks will get done, you can
Yes.
sort it out.
How many group members are there for outsiders?
Well, it's over 25
Wow.
of us. Yes, because we had few new dancers joined in January.
2020,
Yes.
this year.
Yes,
Okay.
this year. So we expanded. So we're up to 25 dancers.
And how many persons are traveling to Kansas City?
Well, we're hoping to see all of us,
Wow.
but majority of them goes to school and so on, and seeing that we'll be going in August, I believe it will be hectic for them to go because it's a month we'll be going for.
A whole
A whole
month?
month, yes.
Wow.
Yes, we'll be staying there for a good while.
All right, guys, this sounds so great. I'm proud of you already.
Thank
I
you.
think you're really going to do well in Kansas. But let's talk about money. Who's funding this trip? Y'all are just babies.
No one.
is
No one, basically.
What do you mean, no one?
No. No
So you need some money.
Yes. Big time.
Yeah.
Accommodation
Yes, we're looking.
Travel?
Right, right.
for 25 young, brilliant people
Yes.
representing Antigua and
Right.
Barbuda.
Ambassadors.
Ambassadors, I like that.
Yes.
I like that. You're representing the nation.
Yes.
So this is what I am going to do. You're watching the Paula Show tonight, and I'm presenting to you the outsiders, brilliant young people on fire for the Lord, and they're ambassadors for Antigua and Barbuda. Erica is here, and Samuel is here. They're just two of the young people representing this group on set tonight. I am beseeching you to help them as much as possible. We speak about young people all the time, about them being imprisoned, being addicted to drugs. Not good, but these are some good ones with unique qualities. And we're sending them off to Kansas City to represent Antigua and Barbuda. Thank you for staying with us tonight on the Paula Show. As we enter our last segment, I want to ask you a question that has been very common throughout many churches. 80% of our youth are not attending church anymore, and this is a global trend.
Okay.
What's the problem?
I can say everybody knows the norm about how they find church boring, and it's like they don't sing the hymnals, and they're so influenced by outside friends and whatnot.
Right.
But there's also an issue where in other countries, since you say global, you have something called anti-conversion laws, in which young people cannot be converted into Christianity, or they can't be, when they attend church, they only go to the sake of going to church. So they're church goers. So they have different religions and so on and so forth. They have young people who can't.
Well, maybe we should just narrow it down to Christianity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's just Christianity on the whole, where they just they go through a lot in other countries. So it's a global thing. But now let's narrow into.
We're actually speaking about those who do not have those barriers.
Okay.
But yet still, like Antigua and Barbuda, you can worship freely. But a lot of young people have chosen not to attend church. They attend church when they're attending school, and they, parents, and from the moment they hit age 18 and 19 and 20, it's a shift.
Yeah.
So what is happening?
I can say sometimes it can be the adults as well. They're feeling discouraged.
You're saying we discourage them from going to church?
No, not all adults.
No. I'm representing the adults here.
Okay.
What have we done to discourage young people from attending church?
I don't know, it's just maybe the lack of relationship between the older folks. And
We
also
love
the
you
young people.
guys.
Yeah, we know that.
I know that.
We know that.
Yeah.
But it's just
We know
that
that.
not all, you represent for everybody, but everybody will speak on your behalf and agree with you and say.
So what are some of the attitudes among the adult population that might cause young people not to be attracted to church?
Well, I could say that persons tend to feel like their parents are taking them away from their fun time, like going out with their friends and going to the movies and so forth. They
On a
might
Sunday
feel,
morning?
well, yes,
There's
sometimes
no Caribbean cinema doesn't operate on a Sunday morning.
not Sunday morning. I didn't know you were talking about Sunday though. I thought just in general, because we don't usually go church.
No, don't be
on
so serious about it.
Oh, I'm
it's
sorry.
just me interjecting and
Oh,
just,
okay.
yeah.
But yeah, we don't go to church just on Sundays. We go during the week and so forth. So I'm just saying, like, when a parent is like pulling their
Sunday
child or
morning
children,
church, Wednesday evening Bible
Thursday.
study, Friday evening youth meeting,
Saturday worship team practice,
and Tuesdays what?
discipleship training.
Discipleship.
So
But you guys, you live at church.
basically, so to see
So
that
why don't you then discuss with your parents, I don't mind attending church 3 nights per week or 2 nights per week, but why not at all?
you know why? Because the youths tend to follow their friends. So when they see that their friends are going to fetes or parties and so forth on this specific day, they will feel like, okay, I don't want to go to church because my friend may not
Even
be going to
Christian young
church and so
people?
forth.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah?
Sometimes because it's
remember
just
we
like-
spoke about from the beginning, we're tempted by our peers and so forth when we have the wrong company. So we could be drawn to that, but it's your mindset. You have to be grounded, rooted, have a strong mind to stay on the
Okay,
right
so
path.
I'm a parent. Help me to help other young people to get to church.
Okay.
I want to see an increase in attendance of young people in my church. What should I do?
Well, one thing I would advise the parents to do is to not to force or to have a type of hatred towards your child or children. Because if it is that a parent doesn't see that their kid or children is going to church, they would start shouting, yelling, and that would cause that child to feel
Rebellious?
discouraged. Right. So they would try to stay away because they don't want to please their
So you
parents.
want me to say, darling, Stephen, Do you think that you can make it to church today? Or Faith, honey, or Melanie, honey? What do you think about coming to church today?
No, I won't advise the parents to have that mindset as to ask the child if they want to go to church.
So then I
So-
should just say, hey, let's go. Church time.
Well, you have to put down your foot. Put down your foot, yes, but not to have that aggressive
Don't crush
way.
them.
Right,
Yes, sir.
because they, right. Be
Boy,
assertive.
this is walking
Right.
a tightrope. I don't even know what
Right.
to do. Tell me, my dear. Not Stephen, but Samuel.
I just want to
Yeah.
piggyback off of what she was just saying. Is you just have to be assertive. Don't be passive and allow like your words not to fall in it. Because children tend to
Right.
like when they see like an opportunity like, yo, I'm bigger than you,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna take advantage. I can say at my age they're gonna be like that.
How old
But
are you?
I'm 20.
Okay.
Yeah. So and also don't be aggressive because you're just gonna make them feel uncomfortable. You like
It's gonna pull
and
them back.
Like
listen
I'm
to
not a
them.
child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
Right.
Let them express themselves and be like, okay, I got to. Ooh.
This parenting, this parenting thing is really, really
Hard.
tough.
Yeah. You just have to listen to the other party and understand where they are
Right,
in their faith and their salvation,
right.
and what is best for them.
And maybe sometimes we parents, we believe because we're saved and sanctified, automatically our children
Right.
have that relationship with
Right.
the Lord, but it's far from the truth.
You
So
have-
we're
yeah.
imposing our values on them.
So you have to take your time and just speak to them. You go through your Bible verse, your scriptures, have a little meeting with them, even though they
Morning
don't.
devotions.
Right. Even though they say, oh, they don't want to do it because they have to go apart. You know, you put down your foot as a parent in that household. They have to respect you because they're under your roof. If you don't respect my rules, get out. You know.
Oh,
But don't.
I'm not
put
sending
it-
you any place because when you're not beneath my roof, then you suddenly become, you know,
your own.
free for all, and
Right.
the enemy will box you here, there, and
Right.
everywhere. At least when you're in my home, you have some covering. So I'm not sending y'all any place.
Okay, don't send them out.
Tell
But
me about
yes.
tell me about testimonies. How important are testimonies?
Oh,
Testimonies are very important.
very
Because,
important.
You're really coming from a place. You're literally telling your past now. Literally.
And it's
telling
hard.
Listen,
It's
the
hard.
Lord has to influence some of us to talk about our past, okay?
Of course. That is if you.
And I wouldn't advise someone to speak about your past, especially if it's not a very good past, just for emotions. You have to
Well,
be led by the Spirit
right.
to speak about that past so that it can help someone or help a
Right.
group of people. But sometimes people get emotional and you share information, and instead of it being helpful, it hinders. There's a right time, right place. You have to be led by the Spirit.
That's why God
Yeah.
don't really, send any and anybody to really say the testament to somebody who's going through the same situation that they have been through before, right? So it's for us to really take precautions and be insensitive with ourselves
Right.
and with the person, and to meet them at the same level. So, yeah.
And sometimes when people are testifying, boy, you don't want to feel as if you're judgmental. But have you ever thought, but this is not a testimony? Am I alone? It doesn't sound like
Sounds
a
like a
testimony.
story, just a regular story.
The Lord provided $20 for me today. I mean, maybe to me, it may not sound like a testimony, but
Boasting.
the Lord caused me to find $20 on the ground today. That sounds like a testimony. You see? And maybe that's why the word asks us not to be judgmental, because it may seem to me as if it's not a big deal, but to that person it's a huge deal
Right,
because the
yes.
person didn't even have a dollar.
Right.
So testimonies are
Very important.
they're important, but sometimes I sit there wondering, is this a testimony or is this just something else?
Right.
We're very judgmental people even in church,
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a hurdle we have to overcome. Have you ever sat in church and then someone enters the church building and the person doesn't look too right and you're wondering,
Yeah.
Lord of mercy, is this person coming here to do harm?
Yeah.
Especially because of all you've heard about in the States, people coming with guns and all of that. And then you settle in after you realize the person is worshiping and all of that.
And you say, okay, they're good.
I can
They're
ease
safe.
up. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Wow. Hey, it's called life, right? It's called life, and you guys are young and you have a lot more years
Right.
to experience life, and I do hope that you continue in the Lord. All right, so guys, we're just about nearing the end of our program, but somehow I do believe that you want to share some more information with us.
We just want to say thank you in advance. And after our trip from Kansas City, we're going to have like workshops and we're going to participate in national events.
Interesting. I like that. So you're going to be reciprocating. We help you, and then you return and you help the communities in Antigua and Barbuda. That's good.
Right.
Now, Miss Erica, take it away. You're wrapping up on behalf of the outsiders or the insiders?
Outsiders.
Okay,
Outsiders.
on behalf of the outsiders.
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 Get that right next time, yeah?
Okay, the outsiders. All right.
So on behalf of the outsiders, we would like to thank Miss Paula for having us on her show, and we really appreciate it. And we would like to just give a little encouragement from the outsiders to just stay on the right path with Christ, because we're young people. We're young people, we're just rooted, we're grounded, and we want to make him known to others, to Antigua. We would just like to say thank you once again for having us, Miss Paula, and thank you, Antigua, for listening.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the outsiders for you on the Paula Show tonight. It was Youth Explosion here, and watch the program because you'll see me dancing. Coming up next, before we end tonight's program, Melanie will be singing for us. Woo! Give it up for Melanie.
Good night, everyone. You know, it's a girl, Melanie, representing for Jesus Christ. Let me hear you say, Jesus. Jesus. Yeah. Goodbye, world. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, pleasures of sin. Man, I stay out there with you. Ma make up my mind, me I go God's way the rest of my life. Why make up my mind, me I go God's way the rest of my life. Cause what? Goodbye, bye to the fame and the hype. Bye to the hurts and the lies. Goodbye to all the guys who really tried. Forget me in them bed, cause only sex upon their mind. Amazing grace, how sweet that sound. This girl was so lost, but now she's found. God, you pick me up and turn me around and plant my feet on higher ground. Goodbye, yeah. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye, pleasures of sin. I stay out there with you. Me make up my mind, me I go God's way the rest of my life. Life. Make up my mind, me I go God's way the rest of my life. All right, listen to this. My identity is not rooted in Christ. Yes, I know my worth. I was bought with a price. I know me not for sure up. My breast leg not tired. Just to post my Instagram for some get some likes. Cause I'm a queen, a child of a king. I'm more than what I've done, more than what's happened to me. The devil thought he had me, but Jesus came and grabbed me, so I'ma open up my heart and let him in. Goodbye world. Stand with me, everybody. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye pleasures of sin. Now stay out there. Now stay out there with you. Whoa. Make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life. Life. Make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life. Goodbye world. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye pleasures of sin. Me not stay out there with you. Me make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life. Life. Make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life.
One more time. Goodbye world. I stay no longer with you. Goodbye pleasures of sin. Me not stay out there with you. Me make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life. Life. Make up my mind. Me I go God's way the rest of my life. Thank you, everybody. Love you, Antigua.
Thank you for joining us on the Paula Show tonight. Remember to watch the Paula Show via CTV Channel 2 on Tuesday nights at 9 and Sundays there's a rebroadcast at 1 in the afternoon. All the best from the Paula Show and have a good evening. Good night.
The Paula Show is on.